Here we have a new 2023 Buick Envision Avenir. And this beautiful Avenir comes in the rich garnet metallic paint coat. It's going to be your dark purple. And then the interior consists of ebony with ebony accent perforated leather. And then the powertrain carries over from previous years. This has a 2-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder engine, made it with a 9-speed automatic transmission. And coming around to the front end here, we do get LED headlamps along with LED daytime running lights. I just love this grille here. Have that galvanized aluminum finish there, and then just your kind of reflective aluminum finish all around there. Just really love that look. And it really does give off Audi vibes, in my opinion, to like a Q5. And then down here, we have the 20-inch aluminum wheels. Really good look there to kind of go with the sleekness of this vehicle. We get passive keyless entry on all 4 doors. And then looking at the door panel here, love this kind of faux wood grain look here. Looks very expensive. Power door lock controls, memory seat controls, power windows, the window lock, and then we have power window controls here. And then there are one-touch auto up and down for the driver and front passenger. And then mirror controls, like I said. Power lift gate here. You can set that to max 3/4 to turn it off. And then you can hit the button to open and close it. Little cup holder pocket in here. And a premium Bose sound system. Then over here we have the controls for our heads-up display, headlamp controls, and there we have our power driver seat there. So I'm going to take a look at the window sticker just real quick, and then you can pause the video anywhere if you want to look at any features more closely. So my only issue with this vehicle is going to be not having the heated cooled seats in there. It really bugs me, but you can retrofit it later, of course, but I don't know when that'll be. I thought we were done with that, but apparently not quite. So getting in here, checking out the leg room. Not the best. I have the seat in front of me adjusted for someone of my size, but I do have it quite back. So, I mean, I could probably scoot it up a little bit and then it'll still be comfortable for me up there. But, and then the heated seats back here are not activated either. And then we have a USB-C, USB-A charge port. And then one of my favorite features is going to be that 110 or 120 volt 3-prong household plug in there. Here's a look at the front. You can see that rear camera mirror up top. And then your standard panoramic moonroof. And then here we have cup holders in that center seat. And I like that we have the hangers on all 4 doors, but we don't have an additional clothes hanger, so you have to actually hang your hangers on this. But let's go ahead and check out the back. So like the front end, I really like the back here. Get those premium tail lights, dual exhaust. It's way down there. But this rich garnet metallic just makes it look that much more premium. So decent sized storage back here. And I do feel like the Envision is kind of for a niche market, but just a beautiful car to look at. So if you want to fold the rear seat down for even more space to run longer items through, The seats are pretty far back. When they're up just a little bit more, you can fold these flat, and then all that additional space to run things through, or just have more space for grocery bags, what have you. And then up here we have our power front passenger seat, and I believe both of these seats are going to be 8-way. And we're just gonna pop the hood so you all can see the engine bay. And there's that 2-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder. And that's one of the better hood closes I've had to deal with. Sounds nice and sturdy, but I don't have to slam it. Just requires a perfect amount of force. Let's hop in this driver's seat here. So I love when I actually sit in this. I don't think I turned the volume all the way down. But I love when I sit in this vehicle. I feel like I've gotten into a luxurious Mercedes or something. Like that door close didn't sound cheap. And then I get in here, material feels really nice. Start out with this heated leather wrap steering wheel, which I am glad that doesn't require a retrofit. Feels really nice. Now over here to the radio, this carries over from the 22 model. We get AM, FM, XM, along with Bluetooth, and then we get our wireless Apple CarPlay, wireless Android Auto compatibility. And then there's our navigation screen there. And of course you can monitor your air quality. And then we also have dual zone automatic climate controls, which we can use either on the screen, or we have buttons and knobs down below, along with the heated and cooled seats, which like I said are not in this one yet. But here we have a bird's eye view along with a backup camera. And then there's our front camera. And we also get curbside view, which I like. We can either see it from the front or the back, and then we kind of have a trailer hitch bird's eye view there. So down here, pretty good size wireless charging pad. We have a 12-volt there, and then an SD card reader that runs that navigation, and then we have a USB-C, USB-A input there. And nice and easy to stow that if you want to. And then we have our auto stop, which we can toggle here, the lane departure. We have our self-park feature here, and we can toggle our parking sensors there. Now to our shifter for the 9-speed, you can just press P for park, pull up here for reverse, press down here for neutral, pull up here for drive, and then if you want to use paddle shifters, you can press here for the manual mode, and then you have the option to do that, and those are behind the steering wheel. And then we have an electronic parking brake, so you can just pull up on that to engage, and then hit the brake, press down to disengage. And then we have 3 drive modes: Tour, Sport, and then Snow and Ice. Just using that button there. Let's check out this center console cubby space. Pretty good size actually, and I like that these kind of fold out instead of having to lift this up. And there's that roof again from up front. And we have our universal home remote there, and then the actual controls for the sunshade as well as the roof. These 3 buttons here. And then nice dome lights there. And then for this rear camera mirror, we can just flip this. And then that'll kind of control whether you want it on and off, and you can adjust brightness and so on over here. And there's a view of the back seat from up here. And while I'm there, I really want to admire the stitching here. This is one of my favorite things about this. It just looks so nice on the Avenir. It's just how it has that kind of wavy ebony accent there. And then you have Avenir stitched here. And then if you look closely on these floor mats, it's even stitched right there. So really, really impressive. It's the little things that count. Then we have our glove compartment, owner's manuals, decent size. And if you look closely, there's our heads-up display. And then we have the different settings here. We show the radio, direction, then we have that kind of tachometer look. And we can just show the speed limit with the actual speed. Now back over here to the steering wheel, we have our cruise controls here. We can adjust that, and then we can toggle between adaptive cruise and regular cruise by holding that button there. And then we have the gap adjust for our forward collision alert or the adaptive cruise here. Like I said, that heated steering wheel toggle. And then to the right side, we have our voice recognition, mute button, and then we can scroll through our middle part of the gauge cluster using the scroll bar here, and then we can toggle pressing these arrow buttons here between the different menus. And then, like I said, within each one, we can scroll down when it's applicable. And then there's our push button start. And finally, here's our key fob with remote start. So next, we're gonna go ahead and take this Envision Avenir out on the road for a quick test drive. So I want to say off the bat, this Avenir does have some sort of chassis damping, I'm pretty sure. So I'm just curious to how this holds up just driving through town and then getting on the interstate. But so far the ride is pretty good. So I want to put it in a manual mode and then put the car itself in a sport mode. Let's just see how it accelerates. So I do like how quick the shifts are. Let's see how this lane keep assist does. So there it is, just pinging me back in as I go out the lines. That might be something you can adjust, but it's not actually. Well, it is staying in the lines now, but at first it just kind of let me go out, then said, whoa, put me back in. But for the most part, a pretty good system. And even with these big 20s on there, I can feel a little bit through the steering wheel, but the ride itself is spectacular. It really is. It rides like a Buick, so at least it held up to its name there. And then another Buick trait that I really like about this is just how quiet the actual vehicle is. It really does drive like the competition. It's not as agile in terms of the powertrain compared to the BMW X3, X2, but In my opinion, it's very, very similar to the Audi Q5 and then the Mercedes counterpart. And I'm gonna put it back in the drive here. We'll just give it a bit of throttle here. And I actually like how it pulls in sport mode better in the automatic mode as opposed to the manual mode. And then we'll put it back into tour mode now. Yeah, the car is just very quiet. And the chassis really does allow this vehicle to shine in terms of the ride quality. Of course, most of the Buicks are gonna, the Envisions in particular, are gonna ride very well, but this just floats down the road. It really does. It almost makes you want to take a nap. Got the heat on full blast because it's freezing outside, the heated steering wheel on, and even without the heated cooled seats, just really comfortable in here right now. And just oh so quiet, oh so smooth. But for the money, the only issue I have is not having the heated and cooled seats now, but once it gets retrofitted with that, definitely a really, really good option in my opinion. And this will bring me to the end of my review of the 2023 Buick Envision Avenir.